All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you're new. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And thank you, as always, for waiting patiently for the intro to finish up there. I see some of you are asking for the boss intro again. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can kind of make a new one, essentially, kind of mixing a couple of things together. Because the one I used yesterday, it's a little bit confusing. You know, it's funny, but I don't know if people are aware that it's just kind of like an intro screen. So we'll see what we can make happen with that. But yeah, really appreciate you guys being here. Today we're going to be having a discussion about GTA 6. We're going to talk about a new milestone that GTA 6 just achieved. We're going to be talking about how much money apparently GTA 6 is expected to make. And we're going to be talking about the impact that GTA 6 is likely going to have on PlayStation, the console business, as well as the gaming industry as a whole. So this is what we're going to be discussing today. Irfan, you're saying check Zubitech. Irfan, did I miss something? Did something important happen just as I went live? Wouldn't be the first time. Oh, some new information about Sony Japan Studio. Okay. Yeah, maybe that could be a topic for tomorrow, potentially. I feel like it's been a while since we've talked about Japan Studio or heard anything about it. Mr. Meme, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, guys, listen, before we get into this conversation, I just want to first thank everybody for tuning in live. If you're here watching live, thank you guys so much. I also want to give a shout out to those who maybe can't catch the streams live, but still like to watch them, and maybe you catch it later on. Shout out to you guys as well. Do me a big favor and hit that like button. Okay, we have over 130 people here right now. I want everybody to hit that like button because the truth is there is likely one individual or two that are going above and beyond to try to, I guess you could say, hurt the stream. They are coming out in force with bot accounts, attempting to make sure that the stream doesn't get put into YouTube's algorithm, which is unfortunate. I was actually keeping track of it, and it's crazy that YouTube still allows this to happen, and it has a direct impact. So, guys, I'm reliant on you, those of you who are here now, and those of you who are tuning in after the fact. I'm relying on you guys. If you enjoy the streams, if you enjoy the content, if you want to try to help it and support it in any way you can, simply hitting that like button is the easiest way to do that. Okay? So thank you to everybody who does that. It is worth noting, by the way, I don't want to discourage people. Like, if you don't like the streams, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with hitting the dislike button. That's a way to let me know. But, you know, it still does count as engagement. So essentially, if you like the stream, genuinely hit the like button. If you genuinely dislike it, then the dislike button's there as well. But we do have some people here, some individuals, unfortunately, who are trying to throw a wrench into the system here. You hate to see it, but what are you going to do? So, guys, I want to let you know there are a couple of ways you can support the channel directly. I do rely on you to be able to do this. I do rely on you to keep this channel running in the way that I do. So, obviously, like I said, being here watching helps, but if you want to go above and beyond, you can become a channel member, gain access to some exclusive perks like the Members Lounge. If you are already a channel member, consider gifting channel memberships. A lot of people very much appreciate those gifted memberships. And consider donating a super chat. You can ask a question, give an opinion, make a statement, anything in between. It all helps tremendously. So a big shout out and a big thank you to everybody who supports the channel and makes this possible, makes these conversations and these streams possible. So let's dive into this conversation about GTA 6 and how it's going to change things for PlayStation. This isn't actually just a random thought that I had. Uh, there was something I came across, a new piece of information about GTA 6 that actually kind of spurred this on. I have a report here from WCCF Tech, and the title says GTA 6 trailer breaks 200 million views in 7 months on YouTube. The first official GTA 6 trailer set new records right away, becoming the most viewed YouTube video, except for 2 songs by South Korean boy band BTS on its launch day. So BTS was the only thing ahead of GTA 6 in terms of how many views it could get with its trailer. In just 34 hours, the trailer had already amassed 100 million views. It's been a little over 7 months since December 5th, and the GTA 6 trailer has now reached the impressive milestone of 200 million views. For comparison, the debut GTA 5 trailer only has around 111 million views, despite having been on YouTube for 12 years. The trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto installment also helped its signature song, Tom Petty's Love is a Long Road. It actually rose apparently on Spotify by over 36,000%. It says here, these figures once again reaffirm the incredible amount of hype for what is now undoubtedly the most anticipated game in the industry, following GTA 5's 200 million units sold to date. In fact, according to Circana, formerly NPD, GTA 6 is expected to be the biggest entertainment launch of all time when it launches. I'm going to say that part again. It's expected to be the biggest entertainment launch of all time. Of all time. Currently, Take-Two has established a fall 2025 launch window for Grand Theft Auto 6. However, looking at Rockstar's recent track record, it's hard to imagine there won't be any delays. Now, they mention here that GTA 5 was originally slated to launch in Q2 2013 before being moved to September 17th, 2013. Red Dead Redemption 2 fared even worse, suffering 2 major delays from the second half of 2017 to spring 2018 and later to October 26th, 2018, which was the final launch date. So, yeah, this is what kind of spurred this thought on, what is GTA 6 going to do for the gaming industry? I think everybody is well aware that GTA 6 is going to be massive. I think everybody is well aware that GTA 6 is going to do big things, but it's worth, I think, kind of looking into it a little bit deeper, because I don't think everybody is fully aware of just how much GTA 6 is actually going to do for the industry as a whole. But I more specifically want to focus on what it's going to do for PlayStation, because we've been having this kind of conversation. It's been going on for a little while now about, what is Sony going to do for the remainder of this generation? They've been playing it very quiet. They haven't really laid out any kind of roadmap for the remainder of this generation, nothing of significance anyway, not providing much clarity. But I think that GTA 6 plays an actual massive role in Sony's roadmap as we go into the second half of the PS5 generation, and we think about how it's going to kind of wind down, how it's going to, well, I say wind down like it's going to be less interesting, but how it's going to come to an end, how it's going to come to a close. Is it going to end with a bang, or is it going to end with a whimper? I think GTA 6 is at the very least going to ensure that from a numbers perspective, it's definitely going to end with a bang. No doubt about that. We have Waylark saying it's GTA hardly surprising. I do agree that it's not too surprising to hear that GTA 6, the first trailer, has now surpassed 200 million views, but I think it further confirms what I've been speculating for a long time now, and what other people have been speculating, and that this game is going to... So the way I've talked about GTA 6, I think this game is going to do something that no other game has done and no other game will ever do again. I think GTA 6 is in a particularly unique situation. There will be future Grand Theft Auto games beyond GTA 6, obviously, so maybe in the far future, GTA 7 could be something that surpasses it, but it just seems like GTA 6 is honestly going to be coming at the perfect time, because the game industry as a whole right now is not in the best place. It's not in the worst place, but there seems to be this kind of struggle that the industry is going through as a whole. And a game like GTA 6 launching holiday of 2025 or fall 2025, that's what they said. Um, that yeah, we're gonna be super old by the time GTA 7 comes out, and who knows? Who knows what kind of future technology GTA 7 is gonna be running on? But GTA 6 is likely to basically kickstart, um, not even well, certainly the console generation, but basically turn things around in a big way for the games industry as a whole. Um, there's always the possibility that GTA 6 could underwhelm. There's always the possibility it could not live up to the hype, but it seems unlikely. If you look at what Rockstar did with Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, obviously we look at GTA 5. That game was incredible as well. But Red Dead Redemption 2 being their most recent game, I think we all have a general expectation that, okay, if that's what they did on the PS4 and the Xbox One, what are they going to be able to do with the PS5 and the Series X? And of course, we have to consider the Series S as well. But GTA 6 is going to completely flip things for PlayStation specifically. Now, it's going to help Microsoft as well. That's important to mention. It's going to help the industry as a whole. It's going to help Microsoft. But I think GTA 6 is going to create a potential paradigm shift for the PS5 this generation. The reason why I think this is because we've been talking extensively about how this generation has went so far. We know that the PS5 launched during a pandemic and Sony struggled to produce enough, and there was a long period there of a shortage, but they had all these different games coming out. But a lot of these games were sequels, not a whole lot of new IP. And on top of that, a lot of cross-gen support, a lot of games that people thought were going to be PS5 only actually turned out to be cross-gen, releasing still on PS4. And now we're at this awkward kind of period in 2024 with PS5 where a lot of people are down on it. A lot of people are feeling not so enthusiastic about this generation because, well, there hasn't really been that kind of big roadmap showcase, bomb drop moment from Sony that people were expecting to happen by this point. And this is where I think GTA 6 is going to come in, and it's going to change everything, I think. Now, I don't want people to be confused by me saying that. So, like, Sony isn't going to have a showcase, or Sony shouldn't have a showcase, or Sony shouldn't release or reveal new games, or Sony shouldn't care about that. No, that's going to happen. Like, Sony still absolutely has to care about that stuff. They're still going to, put on shows and have show some kind of roadmap and make sure that there's content coming. And who knows how they're planning on ending this generation. But one thing Sony also knows is that GTA 6 is coming out for the PS5 within the next, year and a half. And even if it gets delayed, it's coming out for the PS5 before this generation ends. That's the most important thing. Sony knows this. So whatever Sony is planning, this is something they are considering. And GTA 6 is not launching at the same time on PC. And that's why I think this is so significant. We have Cypherpunk with a super chat saying Sony's timing is perfect with the PS5 Pro having the best version until Xbox's early next-gen launch. Yeah, that's what's going to be interesting is GTA 6, assuming it doesn't get delayed, is going to launch, and the PS5 Pro would have already been out for about a year. So it should be fully optimized for the PS5 Pro. If it gets delayed to, let's say, early 2026, it'll still come out for the PS5 Pro. But if Microsoft is planning to release a next-generation Xbox as soon as holiday 2026, there's a chance that Rockstar Games, would have been working on this like next-gen version, I guess, of GTA 6, or maybe not. It's hard to determine. I mean, that we're talking about something at that point that's totally unknown. And what I mean is, we do know GTA 6 is coming out. We do know that it could get delayed. What we don't know is if Microsoft is actually planning a next generation console launch as soon as 2026. That's been rumored and that's speculation, but they haven't confirmed that themselves. But on the flip side, the PS5 Pro has yet to be officially confirmed as well. So the PS5 Pro technically is just as much of a rumor right now as the next generation Xbox, but there's substantially more evidence that kind of shows the PS5 Pro is real. It's coming out very soon. But I do think that Sony is going to benefit quite a bit. At least the PS5 Pro, I should say, is going to benefit quite a bit from being able to say for at least a certain period of time, whether it be for a year or 2 years, the best version of GTA 6 runs on the PS5 Pro. That's going to be something that Sony will be able to say, or that it will be a talking point that will be allowed to persist for quite some time until it either comes to PC or there's another console launch, that is more powerful and more capable than the PS5 Pro that is further optimized. But the reason why I think this is going to completely change things for PlayStation is because I think GTA 6 is going to move more PlayStation 5 units for Sony than any game ever has. Ever. Like, I think GTA 6 is going to sell more consoles than we've ever seen, in the history of console gaming. I don't think there's going to be a game that does more heavy lifting for a video game product than what we're about to see with GTA 6 and the PlayStation console. Now, granted, GTA 6 is also going to sell a ton of Xboxes as well. GTA 6 is going to move a lot of Xbox Series S units, certainly, and a lot of Xbox Series X units. That's how powerful GTA is going to be. GTA is going to likely be the biggest boost in console sales that Microsoft sees ever. And that's it. And I think the same applies, but doubly so, for Sony. And we have Cypherpunk with another super chat. Appreciate that, buddy, saying PC and next-gen Xbox could be worked on simultaneously as both windows. Yeah, that'll make things interesting. It does seem like, based off of the rumors and what we've heard, that Microsoft is planning to take a very different approach with this next generation Xbox in terms of like how they're going to market it, what it's actually going to be, what it's going to be tethered to. It does seem like it's going to be a more Windows-esque approach than what we've seen previously. But again, it's all rumor territory. Based off of what little we know about the PlayStation 6, well, to be honest, we know next to nothing about the PlayStation 6. Like, all we can really say is a PlayStation 6 is happening, and we know that eventually a GTA 6 next-gen version is going to happen as well. But I think that even... You're saying, but isn't this obvious, MBG? It's not, I don't know, man. I don't think it's as obvious to some people. Even if it is obvious, it's worth talking about. It's worth talking about because think about it. The PS5 is kind of halfway, it's a little bit over halfway through its life cycle in terms of what it's expected to sell. There was something interesting that Sony said to their investors that I can't help but think they're just being conservative. They're playing it safe. They don't want to give overly ambitious assumptions or predictions to their shareholders, especially when they failed to hit their 25 million units sold mark. I mean, they still sold like 21 million units, but still they didn't hit their mark. What they said is that they expect that PS5 sales will decline more and more year over year. So this year, PS5 is going to sell less than last year. And then the year after that, PS5 is going to sell less than the year previously. And it's interesting to me. They're saying this knowing that GTA 6 is coming, but I guess from a business perspective, this is wise because GTA 6 is not your game. You are not Take-Two Interactive. You do not have some kind of deal with Take-Two Interactive, like in terms of exclusivity or anything like that. So you don't know what's going to happen with GTA 6. GTA 6 could get delayed out of this generation. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's a possibility, right? Anything's possible with this game. But I think Sony's going to be wrong. I think that when GTA 6 launches, we're going to see a sales spike. And same with Xbox again, but mainly just focused on PlayStation. We're going to see a sales spike that is going to be unprecedented. We're going to see PS5s sell at a rate that I don't like. Okay, what's the fastest a console ever sold? Maybe like the launch of the PS4, maybe, or could it possibly be the PS2? I don't know. I don't have that data in front of me. But what I feel confident in is that when GTA 6 launches, it's going to just decimate. It's going to go way beyond that. And I say this because there are going to be tens of millions of people who are going to want to play GTA 6. And the only way they're going to be able to do that is you have three options: PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, or, PS5 Pro. So technically four options. And that's it. Those are your only options to play GTA 6. PC will eventually happen. We don't know when. GTA 6 could launch on PC a year later, maybe 2 years later. I think Rockstar is going to try to hold off. I think Take-Two Interactive is going to hold off so that they can get people to double dip. Frankly, I think that's what they're going to try to do. But I just want you to think about that. There's going to be tens of millions of people that have not bought a next-gen console that are playing GTA 5 right now that are going to be there day one for GTA 6. They're going to be there day one. And I think that when you consider how anticipated GTA 6 is, GTA 6 is like a unicorn in a way. There's not anything out there like it. There's nothing out there that can match its hype level. As you can see, analysts are coming out and saying this is going to be the biggest entertainment launch of all time. And there's a good chance, we don't know, we haven't had this confirmed, but there's a good chance that Sony does have the marketing rights to it. Or like the next GTA trailer we see, there might be a PlayStation logo somewhere on there. And if Sony locks that in, the truth is, and I hate to say this, and I don't want it to be this way, but the brutal truth is that if Sony locked in the marketing rights for GTA 6, Sony doesn't have to lift a finger for the rest of this gen if they don't want to. Obviously, that would be stupid, and that would be arrogant of them. But they wouldn't have to do anything. This gen is set in stone. Like, GTA 6 alone will ensure that this generation is going to close out in the biggest possible way, which is ironic because you would think it would have to be something Sony does directly. But that's going to be the power of GTA 6, man. Waylark, you're saying, already sold my PS5, just waiting for the Pro now. Nice. Yeah, the Pro is rumored to be launching in November. So we're not too far off. We're not too far off. Yeah, guys, we have 260 people here watching. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Help the channel out. Help the stream. Actually, you're saying, anyone ever had Grillo's pickles? Goddamn, if that's not the tastiest dill pickle of all time. Dude, actually, I eat them all the time. Yeah, I have them all the time. I'm always stocked up on Grillo's, dude. I think they are the best pickle. I think they're really healthy, too. I think they're lightly fermented. So they're actually healthy, healthier than most other brands. So shout out to Grillo's. I don't know, that just caught my attention. Really random. But BMed says, Pickle Talk, got here just in time. Yeah, dude. Whoa, IP Gaming, let's chill out now, man. Actually, you're like, damn, bro, really? You just got even awesomer. Yeah, I tried the regular Grillo's pickle. I tried the Spears. I tried I think, like, sweet and spicy, and they're all good. The only problem with Grillo's, though, and this is the only problem, is you got to be careful when you're opening the container. They ship in, like, plastic containers, and they, like, overfill it with brine. So when you open it, it's going to spill, and you got to be prepared for that. We have Snumpkin X here with the super chat. Third time super chatting. Appreciate that, buddy. Saying, have you seen the Instagram post by DJ Academics in which he claims Sony is bringing back Parappa the Rapper, voiced by Playboy Cardi, in development right now? No. I don't think that's real, Snumpkin. Yeah, that's the same dude who claimed that. Wasn't that the same dude that, like, leaked out there was going to be some kind of PlayStation showcase, and it was like a rapper or something that, like, was under embargo, like they couldn't release their new song or something until the PlayStation showcase happened? I swear there was something going on with that dude saying some shit like that, and it turned out to be, like, completely false. You're saying they changed the lid so it's better now. You know what? That's funny. They must have gotten a lot of feedback on that. We got MBG talking about pickles before GTA 6. No, we were talking about GTA 6. We just, we went from GTA 6 to pickles. Now we'll go back to GTA 6. But yeah, Stumpkin, I would be very careful about believing something like that. I'll be honest with you, man, that sounds like completely made up. I don't think Sony's bringing back Parappa the Rapper. Definitely not. Sorry to all the Parappa the Rapper fans. There's a screw-on lid now. Okay, wow. Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to that. That's really funny. Yeah, somebody got the message. They were probably getting weekly complaints like, dude. Because the thing is, it doesn't just spill a little bit. I mean, it practically explodes, It's like, oh, I got my new package of Grillo's pickles. I'm excited. And it's like, yeah, dude, but just be ready when you open that shit, because it's going to be like a bomb went off. That's funny. Jake Skew 28 comes in and gifts a single membership, getting us started today. Jake, thank you so much for that, buddy. Appreciate the support, man. We also have Cypherpunk with another super chat saying, crazy to think Microsoft bought success with ABK and Sony, about to get insane sales from an IP they don't even own or had nothing to do with being developed. Yeah, that's kind of the power of PlayStation's position that I think a lot of people underestimate, right? Is it's not that, like, Microsoft's still going to benefit greatly from GTA 6, and obviously Microsoft's benefiting greatly from what's happening with their acquisition with ABK. But the point you're making here is something that shouldn't be overlooked, in that, like, Sony is still the market leader, and because of that, they're going to benefit significantly more than Microsoft and anybody else will from a launch like GTA 6 because of the way they're positioned. And actually, get some Trismegistus comes in. Clearly, the Grillo's Pickle Talk got him excited. He dropped another 5-bomb for you guys. So Jake Skew got us started and actually followed it up.
Thank you.
Actually, thank you so much, man. I got to give you your...
Get some! Get some!
Get some! Get some Grillo's Pickles. There we go. Thank you for that, man. I always appreciate that support, bud. So that brings us up to 6 members on the day. Guys, if we do end up hitting our goal of 25 members, we'll bring Boss in and we'll feed the beast. I just can't bring him in right now. I don't know what's gotten into him lately. He's extremely, I don't know. rambunctious lately, and he definitely makes things too chaotic at the beginning of the stream and even in the middle of the stream. But if we hit that goal today, guys, we'll bring him in. But yeah, Cypherpunk, that's the thing, man, is, somebody might say, well, it's unwise of Sony to, bank on GTA 6. But that's the thing. It's not that Sony's reliant. I said a couple of moments ago that if Sony wanted to, they could just coast this gen and literally just put it all on GTA 6's shoulders. They could do that. But it would be very risky and very unwise, although it probably would work, truthfully. But it would be unwise because it's like, you can't put all of your eggs in Take-Two Interactive's basket, in the GTA 6 basket. You could, and you could probably survive, but, you're going to do damage along the way. Because imagine if Sony basically did nothing between now and the end of the generation, and they did so because they're like, well, we're just going to save everything for the PlayStation 6 because we have GTA 6 coming out. So, we're going to sell enough PS5s just fine. People would lose their minds. They'd be like, Sony, what are you doing? You can't do that. But I do think that essentially what we are ultimately going to see is right now Sony's taking a more conservative approach, being like, look, based off of what's been happening for the last year or so, we're assuming that going into our next couple fiscal years, things aren't going to necessarily skyrocket. They're either going to improve somewhat or they're going to kind of remain stable. That's basically what Sony's saying. But in the back of their head and in the back of all the investors' heads, they're like, well, GTA 6 is coming, right? Yeah. Okay, what's that going to do? Well, I have another article here that tells us how much, it's actually not GTA 6 specifically, but global gaming revenue is expected to reach $300 billion in the next 3 years. And you really just have to ask yourself, we're going to go over the article here, but you got to ask yourself, like, how much of a contributing factor is GTA 6 alone going to be in reaching that goal? Chris Brown, thank you for the super chat, buddy. You're saying Sony should partner with companies like Xbox does. Playing Gears/Starfield on my Meta Quest on a 110-inch screen. Sony IP would be awesome on that. Yeah, it would be interesting if Sony decided to start making some different partnership moves like that. I think it's unlikely, though, Chris, to be honest. I think that Sony is still very much in the zone of, if they're going to experiment with different things like that, they're going to do it on their own. They're going to do it in their own way. It's not to say that they couldn't change their mind and decide to partner with somebody else. But this is where I just think there's an overall different philosophical approach between Sony and Microsoft as companies where, Microsoft, it's not surprising to see them kind of partnering with different companies, with Xbox, because if you look at Microsoft as a whole, that's pretty much what they do. They partner with everybody. And so, again, Sony has a lot of partnerships as well, but Sony's also still much more like, if we could do it ourselves, we'll do it ourselves. If we can make it work on our own, we'll make it work on our own. So I think we're more likely to see in the future Sony try their own stuff. And then if it doesn't work, maybe they'll be open to more partnerships at that point. 100% never going to happen, but I can dream though, right? Yeah, hey, you can dream, man. You can dream. I don't want no trouble with a $2 super chat says, does this generation of gaming feel stale to you? A little bit. Yeah, it does. It's not like terrible, but you could just tell that this is, I think, a stepping stone generation where it's one of those gens that I feel like not a whole lot of progress overall has been made. There hasn't been a whole lot of innovation. And I don't know. I feel like maybe the next generation, as crappy as that sounds, I think one of two things is going to happen. I think either this generation is going to end in the biggest possible way. And I want to put that out there that, like, we don't know what the next 3 to 4 years are going to be like. we can only assume to know. We can only predict. But there's a chance that the second half of this generation could be polar opposite of what the first half has been like so far. And if that happens, it could completely change and alter people's perception of this generation of consoles. But the only way that's going to happen, like GTA 6 could be enough alone to make that happen. But I think it's going to have to be GTA 6 and a bunch of other standout titles, whether they be from Sony, Microsoft, EA, you know, Capcom, whatever. But there's going to have to be just these exceptional releases that it feels like, oh, okay, like this is what, like these are the games that are ultimately defining this generation. And if it were to occur that way, because you have to think like, well, if there's like about 3 years left in the generation, why is it all stacked at the very end? It would kind of make sense, right? It would kind of make sense that it would be even more stacked than usual, because no other generation previously suffered from launching in the middle of a pandemic. You know, I know people are tired of hearing about it, but it's just this generation will be, I think, ultimately defined by two things: the insane beginning and the insane end. I'm thinking that's what this generation is. I think that's what this generation is ultimately going to look like when we are past it and we're like looking back. I think people are going to be like, man, yeah, the beginning of that generation was nuts. You know, a lot of things going on at one time. And then it just kind of got real quiet. Or if not real quiet, just kind of really, the water became very still for an extended period of time. And then basically at the end, a tsunami came. I think that's how this is probably going to happen. You're saying that's literally every generation. Yeah, but I think it's going to be a little bit more emphasized this generation. Because you're right, every gen kicks off with a bang and ends with a bang. But I just think that the explosion, if you will, like when we look back, it's like, oh yeah, okay, those are some bigger beginning and end explosions than we've seen in the past. And that's, you know, I could be wrong about that, but that's kind of how I'm viewing it. That's how I'm thinking it's going to play out. It could be the opposite. You know, it could be maybe this generation isn't going to end as strongly. It's just going to be, you know, just a slow crawl to the finish line, which I hope it's not, because it feels like right now it's a slow crawl, and it kind of sucks. You know, I think we're all just kind of waiting to see things really get rejuvenated. And that's why I think GTA 6 plays such a vital role in all of this, because, well, if you think about it, some of Sony's biggest success stories in gaming kind of do revolve around Grand Theft Auto. I mean, GTA 3, exclusive to the PlayStation 2, right? And it was, you know, a phenomenon. It was like it was a historical game that I don't think anybody was really prepared for, like what was about to go down. And there's that crazy story about how Microsoft actually rejected GTA exclusivity, GTA 3. And it's like, man, you want to talk about making possibly the biggest mistake ever with this brand? Like, that has to be the biggest mistake, or like top 3, because after that you get Vice City, you get San Andreas, and these games, I mean, let's face it, these are the games that have defined the PlayStation 2 generation for a lot of people. It's not just those games alone, but you have to question, like, you know, how many millions of consoles did games like GTA San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 3 sell? A lot. And the most important part here is that this was during, dude, GTA is nowhere near. It was nowhere near as prolific as it is now. That's the most important thing to highlight. What GTA 6 is about to do is going to make what GTA San Andreas did, what GTA Vice City did, and what GTA 3 did looked like child's play. Even with GTA 4, frankly, it's going to make it look like child's play, and that's going to be fun to witness because um, I think GTA 6 is going to create a bit of a snowball effect in the industry where it's like it's going to kickstart, I think, a new I'll say like a new beginning. It's a bit much, but GTA 6 is going to be, I think, what rejuvenates the industry as a whole. I think PlayStation is going to try to do it on their own, which is good. I hope they do, and they should, where it's like, Sony, you have to have your own shows. You have to show the PS5 Pro. You got to show a roadmap and get people excited. But I think like GTA 6 is going to be it's going to be the catalyst for the entire industry turning around. And I don't know, man. I'm super eager to see what happens because I might be way too bullish about this. I might be overestimating the power of GTA 6, but I think GTA 6 is going to catapult the PS5, dude. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony is saving a price cut for the PS5 for GTA 6. Like, don't be surprised if Sony announces the first PS5 price cut at around the launch of GTA 6. Like, okay, we're dropping the price to $400, even if it's temporary. And it's going to, and yeah, if they do bundles, oh man, I just feel like at that point you're gonna see the PS5 like just totally speed past the PS4. Because if you think about it, the PS4 sold about 117 million units, which is hugely successful. The PS4 is the third best-selling home console of all time. The only two consoles that are ahead of it are the Switch, which just, I think, well, yeah, the Switch I don't know, the Switch is on the heels of the PS2, and the PS2 is number one. What's crazy to think is the PS4, it being number three. Yeah, PS4 had GTA 5. Of course it did. GTA 5 came out for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And gaming has grown substantially since then. Like a new GTA was completely missing for a whole generation of consoles. And this is going to be the first time since the PS3 and the 360 that a new GTA game is going to like drop on console only. And yeah, man, I could just go on forever about how I really think, the PS2 was 160 million units sold. So I don't think the PS5 is going to do that. But I think GTA 6 is going to save the Xbox console, by the way. I want to throw that in there. I think that GTA 6, even though people are going to be like, maybe more likely to buy a PS5, I think GTA 6 is going to save the Xbox console. Because I'm just trying to think, like, who's going to pass on GTA 6? There's going to be a whole new version of GTA Online launching with it, by the way. Who's going to pass on it? I don't think anybody's going to, dude. Like, I think that there will be people who maybe can't afford it at first, but I think GTA 6 is one of those rare phenomenon games. And again, I think it's in a category of its own where, dude, I think people literally would go get a second job temporarily to afford buying a next-gen console and GTA 6. Like, I think they would do that. And then once they get enough money to do that, they'll quit their job or they'll sell something. Like, I do think people will do that. I'm not even kidding. Like, I think everybody's going to play GTA 6. Yeah. I think it's going to take over. You will be passing on it. At least that's me at this moment. Guys, are you hearing any background noise? Is anything coming? I can't tell. No? All right. Well, that's good. All right, good news then. Maybe, okay, that had to have come through. You say, I heard something and it sounded like screaming. Rudy, it is, dude. Am I farting? No. I would tell you if that's what it was. I would tell you. Don't worry. The astral realm demons are coming, bro. Yeah, I don't. Can you hear that, guys? Can you hear the? Do you hear the screams? That sounds so bad. It does. That sounds so bad. It's just the mic popping. Well, let me ask you, do you guys agree or do you disagree? Do you think I'm overhyping GTA 6? Do you think I'm overestimating what GTA 6 can do, or do you agree with me? Do you think GTA 6 is going to turn things around for this industry? It's going to be the biggest entertainment launch of all time. Everybody's going to want to get in on it. What do you think? I'm curious. Irfan, you're saying people will not buy an Xbox over a PS5 bundled with GTA 6. Yeah, I'm really curious if the bundle is going to be a thing or not, because the GTA 5 PS4 bundle was a thing, and there were previous bundles, I think, for like San Andreas and Vice City. But I don't know. Sony seems to not be doing many bundles at all this generation. So I wonder if maybe they will forego it this time and just try to get game sales, you know? Especially when you consider that, like, I mean, it really comes down to like whether people are going to buy it anyway, you know? What about an Xbox bundled with GTA 6? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Take Two Interactive would not partner with Microsoft unless Microsoft paid them a unbelievable amount of money. The reason why Take Two Interactive would want to partner with Sony, knowing that the game isn't launching on PC, it's only launching on next gen consoles, is because, again, Sony's position where they can come out and say, listen, we have 60 million PS5 sold and we're going to be selling millions more. If you align your game with us, and obviously Sony will have to pay for it to a certain extent, but they'll get a better price on it. And Take Two Interactive would be happy to give them a better price because they are the market leader. It's one of those things where it's a win-win for both companies, and they both stand to make a colossal amount of money. So I don't think any type of Microsoft partnership is likely. It's not to say that Microsoft couldn't afford it; they could. It's just, would it make sense for Microsoft to pay that kind of money, knowing that they seemingly don't really care about trying to chase the market leader in console. And we have actually Get Some Trismegistus coming in, dropping a second 5-bomb on you guys. Actually is keeping the member train rolling today. He gets us up to 11 members on the day. Actually, thank you so much for that, man. Actually wants to see us get to that 25 goal. Always appreciate that support. We have such a generous community here, such a supportive community. I really appreciate it.
Enough from me. We're going to have the games.
There you go, actually. I'll give you a Jim Ryan there. Thank you for that, man. So, yeah, we're at 11 members on the day. Let's see if we can keep that train going. Let's see. So, global gaming revenue to reach $300 billion in the next 3 years. It's no big secret that the games industry is becoming something of a cash cow. More free-to-play games laden with microtransactions are emerging every day, and over time, the cost of investing in a console and an array of games is rising. That's inflation for you. But for all their complaining, gamers are keeping up with the flow. It was recently estimated that as a result of these trends, the global gaming industry's revenue will reach epic proportions soon, hitting more than $300 billion. $300 million by 2027. In a financial forecast published by Bain and Company, it was suggested that the global gaming revenue will secure a CAGR of 9% between now and 2027. This will take the revenue cap from $199 billion in 2022 to a whopping $307 billion by 2027. The report highlighted that young gamers aged 13 to 17, a very impressionable market, now spend 40% more time playing games than engaging with other media, such as television shows. With landmark investments and acquisitions taking place, such as Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, more money is floating around than ever before. Every vertical, from esports to mobile gaming, is undergoing growth at the moment. These analysts have also been studying the rise of streamers and gaming influencers over time. They're becoming multimedia superstars, pulling in millions of viewers and netting insane revenue simply for broadcasting video games online. There's a lot of money out there, and the CAGR is nuts. Before long, gaming will be more valuable and powerful than movie, music, or television industries. As technology is only becoming more advanced, it's only a matter of time. It also helps that there are games on the horizon like GTA 6 that will be pulling in billions of dollars, billions and billions of dollars by themselves. So, kind of crazy to think, right? There's all this talk about what's going on in the gaming industry, how it's not looking good, it's bad, but it turns out that actually everything's still growing. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird to think, at least financially. And that to me, this just kind of helps back up that, yeah, GTA 6, I don't know, man. GTA 6 is coming in again at the right time. It's coming in at the right time. That's another reason why I'm telling you that I think GTA 6 is going to turn things around and change things for PlayStation as well as Xbox, as well as the industry, because the games industry is significantly bigger than it ever has been. It's overtaking everything. So GTA 6 is going to be at the center of that. It's unprecedented, man. It's unprecedented. And I look forward to seeing the results. GTA 6 will be the biggest selling launch in history. Yep. It'll sell 20 million copies in a week. Maybe, dude, GTA 6 is going to sell 20 million in a day, bro. All right, maybe not a day, but like 2 days. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding, by the way. GTA 6 could sell 20 mil in 2 fucking days. Think about it. Because it sounds insane, but it's not, dude. You're going to have, by the time GTA 6 comes out, you're going to have probably by that point 70, 75 million PS5s and maybe 35, 40 million Xboxes. That's probably an overestimation, but you're going to have over 100 million next-gen consoles out there, dude. And God knows how many people are going to like fucking immediately purchase a console when we get the actual gameplay trailer and release date, like the specific release date. Yeah, dude. I know it sounds crazy, but I think GTA 6 is going to do something that no one's expecting. That's what I think. I think that we're going to see a number come out for GTA 6 that people are going to be like, "What?" I just get that feeling. I have that feeling, man. I just have this hunch that GTA 6 is going to. I don't think anything's ever going to touch it, even when it's all said and done. I think GTA 6 is going to be like one moment in gaming that will stand alone. Even if we do get future GTA games, I just think that there's something about this moment, because maybe the industry will shrink in the future. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just get that feeling. Isaac Adrian, you're saying, agree 100%. GTA is like the most anticipated game of all time. And the only other game that is bigger than is Call of Duty. And it's in another universe. You're saying, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Call of Duty is different in a way because like it's hard to compare GTA and Call of Duty because one game is launching annually, and you do have to wonder like what would GTA look like in terms of popularity and like revenue, annual revenue, if there was a yearly GTA released with a whole new online component. I mean, it's not possible, obviously, but yeah, dude, GTA 7 probably isn't going to come out till like 2040 or something. It's not going to. They're not going to need to do anything. This one game is going to do the work of like 100. With 200 million views only on YouTube, I will say that no number uh, can really be attached to its sales. I agree. I think that trying to predict how many copies GTA 6 is going to sell, like first day, first week, first month, it's kind of impossible. Um, it's impossible because it's just we don't know. Like we've never seen anything like this, so it could it could be less than expected. It could be way more than expected. Like I if I was Take Two Interactive, I would have no idea what to expect. I mean, obviously they got to have some kind of assumption and prediction, but and we also have Perfect Image with a super chat saying, "I play GTA 5 all day. I run a crew of 200 people strong. GTA 6, damn." There you go, man. And that's the thing, Perfect Image. Like there's millions and millions of people still playing GTA Online. Here's another really important thing I want to talk to you guys about when it comes to GTA and why it's going to do so well. And why it's going to do so well on PlayStation. Um, GTA 6, or sorry, GTA 5. I don't know if you guys remember, but when GTA 5 launched, everybody knew about the multiplayer component. And it's funny because I remember way back in like 2012, I was reading Game Informer and GTA was on the cover. And I read the whole section. And at the end of the section where it talked about, mostly the single player, there was a little part about GTA Online. And one of the things I remember reading, I forget who exactly was being interviewed. It was somebody at Rockstar. They were basically saying, like, yeah, we don't really know what to expect with GTA Online, but it's something new for us and it's something that we hope to kind of support for a long period of time. And the vibe I remember getting from that interview is they had no idea. They had not even a remote inclination how big GTA Online was going to be, how successful it was going to be. And I just want it to be known that when GTA 5 launched and when GTA Online launched with it, they were totally underprepared. And that under preparation didn't just come in the form of the servers are screwed and we're figuring it out. It came in the form of there was a lack of content. There was a major lack of content with GTA Online. And I don't think anybody really cared because it was just like, whoa, this is novel, right? Like we're able to just play in this GTA map together, and we can kind of just do a couple missions and rob liquor stores and stuff and just kind of mess about and customize our characters a bit. And obviously they've updated the game. It's like a whole different game now. I just want it to be known that everything that they learned over the course of GTA Online's life, they're already going to apply that day one with GTA Online 2. And with GTA Online 2, they're going to be way, way, way more prepared. And they're going to be here's the most important thing, they're going to be putting so much more resource. They have been putting so much more resource into the development of GTA Online 2. And I think what we're going to see, and this could be the kind of major surprise factor that I don't think many people are really thinking about right now because, it's a ways off. But they're going to show the single player, obviously, of GTA 6 first. They're going to focus on that. They're going to show all the new gameplay mechanics. But at the end of their marketing, they're going to show GTA Online 2. And I think when they show GTA Online 2, it's going to be shockingly good. Like, shockingly good. Like, people are going to be like, holy shit. I knew it was going to be good. I wasn't expecting it to be this. And I think it will turn out that good because Take-Two Interactive knows that their cash cow for GTA 6 is going to be just that. GTA Online was like there was just a report that came out recently that GTA Online was such a cash cow for Take-Two Interactive that that's why they canceled the single-player Trevor-focused DLC for GTA 5. And so now they have all this extra time, all this extra knowledge and experience, and they are now going into GTA Online 2 knowing that people want this. This isn't just going to be some kind of experiment. This isn't going to be some kind of test. This is going to be the moneymaker. So we got to make sure it's as good as it possibly could be. And we also got to make sure it's very much different and improved from GTA Online 1. Because one of the most important things that I think Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive are going to try to do with GTA Online 2 is we got to get people to move over, right? Like we need people to leave behind GTA Online 1. We need to get them to invest in a new gen console for GTA Online 2. And I think that's going to be, it's going to be like a, GTA 6 is going to be quite the package, man. It's going to be quite the package. I don't know that we're quite prepared for what GTA 6 is going to do. But I'm here for it, man. I can't wait. I do talk about it somewhat frequently, but I'm unbelievably excited for GTA 6. I'm unbelievably excited at the notion of playing GTA 6 on a PS5 Pro. I'm excited for GTA Online too. I mean, I played GTA Online for a while when it first came out. It kind of lost me over time. But if they've learned from GTA Online 1 and they've improved a lot, I could see it being a game that I play for a long time. And again, this is all going to be extremely beneficial to Sony because this is the game that Sony plays, man, where hey, we don't own Rockstar. We don't own the Grand Theft Auto series, but this is going to be the biggest game on our platform, hands down. And Sony's going to make a little bit of money off of every single purchase of GTA 6, off of every single microtransaction of GTA 6. And they're going to do that as the market leader. So I find it peculiar. I do. I find it quite peculiar that Sony is basically telling their investors, like, yeah, we're expecting like console sales to actually downshift. I think that's a conservative approach. And I think that they're just trying to not overestimate, which is wise. That they're smart to do that. It would be unwise to overestimate. But and it does make me very interested to see how next gen GTA 6 is going to be. I feel like one of the things that has made this console generation so strange for a lot of people is it feels like we have yet to really see that game. I mean, if I were to ask you guys, what game comes to mind when you think next gen or like PS5 generation or Xbox Series X generation? Like, what is the next gen game? What's the first game that comes to mind for you? Interesting. Death Stranding 2. That's a good choice. Not out yet, but that's a good choice. Ratchet and Clank. Okay. Saying there hasn't been one yet. I see 2 Ratchet and Clanks. Concord. Oh, man, Mr. Meme. Horizon Burning Shores. Interesting. Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet and Clank. Demon Souls. Hellblade. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We're seeing shiny PS4 games, nothing more. Returnal. Stellar Blade. Metal Gear Solid Delta. Yeah, I'm thinking GTA 6 has the potential to like uproot all of that potentially. I really do think that because I don't know. It's not to say that any of these games aren't next gen. Like I do agree, Death Stranding 2 looks like it could be like a true next gen game with some of the stuff it's trying to do. Um, but I don't know, man. I'm so curious to see what type of innovations Rockstar's going to attempt to bring to the table or will bring to the table because I still think about Red Dead Redemption 2, man. And has Red Dead 2 been matched yet? I mean, like real like has it been matched yet? Has anything come out to really go toe to toe with it? You think The Last of Us 2 matches it? I feel like that's tough. I That's a tough one because the thing you could say about The Last of Us Part 2 is it's not open world. So I'm not so sure about that. Like I think in terms of like sheer level of detail, yes. I guess I'm really talking about like an open world game. Like has there been an open world experience that has seemingly matched? I don't think so, man. Maybe Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't played it yet myself. A lot of people telling me I have to play it. You think Horizon Forbidden West? Hmm. I mean, I guess maybe these questions are a little bit unfair only because it is hard. These are like very different games doing very different things. So maybe it's hard to compare them. In some ways, maybe it's like a apples to oranges comparison. But just looking at Red Dead Redemption 2 alone and not comparing it to anything, it's unbelievable. Like it's unbelievable. What's even more unbelievable is that was achieved on last gen hardware. To me, that's the craziest thing about it. Planet Schlorpian with a super chat saying, "Will Crimson Desert be the fantasy Red Dead Redemption we want?" Yeah, I remember seeing that game. I haven't seen anything of it recently. I haven't heard much of it, but I know that there's hype for it. It could be, man. It does look quite ambitious from what we've seen. Jack, you're saying Red Dead 2 looked extremely good on PS4, still one of the best, if not the best looking PS4 game ever released on that console. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. Like I don't like Red Dead Redemption 2 to me is not like the greatest game I ever played. It's just there's the thing that fascinates me about Red Dead 2 is the systems, man. Like in terms of open world and like how real it feels. Like it feels real, you know? Like there's nothing out there as far as I'm aware that like feels that real. Like when you're just existing in an open world and just if you just stand there and watch. It's like it looks like you've been teleported like legitimately back, into the 1800s. It's insane. Having real birds flying about was crazy. That's why I'm so curious to see how mind blowing GTA 6 is going to be because GTA 5, when it came out, it was pretty mind blowing. I do remember back in like 2012 playing GTA 5 for the first time. I was blown away. I'm like, dude, this world is so fucking detailed. Like it feels so real. I'm like, why? Like it's just, and it's interesting because it's been a long time, and now we've seen Red Dead 2 come out, and Red Dead 2 took things up significantly. Where I'm like, damn, if I thought GTA 5 was this realistic and felt this real, you know, um, Red Dead 2 just took it up a whole nother level. But what's interesting about Red Dead 2 is it's not contemporary. It's not modern day. Um, it's in the past. That's why I'm so interested in GTA 6 because GTA 6 is going to be today. You know, it's going to be like, hey, when you're standing there in the city, like it's it's just crazy to think it's going to look like probably 10 times better and more realistic than what GTA 5 looked like. Did I check the Black State trailer? It's highly inspired by Metal Gear Solid. No, I heard about it. I think I'm going to check it out soon, though. I think I saw a trailer for it pop up, but I didn't actually click on it. Florida Simulator. Yeah. That's what GTA 6 is ultimately going to be. The animals in Red Dead Redemption 2 were crazy. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I think everybody's excited for GTA 6. I just think it's really one of these games that is kind of always in my mind a little bit. Like whenever I'm thinking about video games, there is like a small part somewhere in my brain where I'm always thinking about GTA 6 and like what it's going to, when it's going to drop and what it's going to be like and what it's going to do. One of the things I'm looking forward to with GTA 6 is I think GTA 6 is also going to be bigger than any moment we've seen in gaming ever. And I'm trying to think of a moment that could be bigger than it. I can't think of any. I don't think there's anything that's going to be able to hold a candle, man. I mean, maybe the only moment that you could say is will ultimately be more significant than GTA 6 is when Nintendo saved the gaming industry after the crash. What was it, of 1983 or 4? One of those years. Maybe that's the only thing that will always remain like the biggest thing. Like literally the gaming industry was about to die and Nintendo saved it. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be anything else. Or the PS1? I don't know, man. I just think GTA 6 is going to change everything. I do. I really believe this. I mean, maybe I really am hyping it up too much. Maybe I am giving it too much credit, but I just have this hunch, man, that people are not ready. Like, and I say this like I'm not a Rockstar fanboy, dude. I mean, you wouldn't know that based off this conversation, but I'm not necessarily a Rockstar fanboy. I'm not, you know, I'm not like a Rockstar channel or a GTA channel, but I really feel like people are not truly ready for GTA 6. I just get this feeling. Like I get this feeling that that first trailer was nothing. Like that first trailer was just a literal glimpse. But it's when Rockstar shows trailer 2. Like in other words, when Rockstar shows you gameplay, I think that's when the shit hits the fan. I think that's when that's like the moment where everybody's like, "What?" Like everybody's just looking at each other, like with their jaws on the ground, like, "What did I just see?" When will trailer 2 happen? PS5 Pro reveal event. That'll be my face. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if like Rockstar was waiting because they want to show it on the PS5 Pro? I doubt it. I doubt that. That I don't think they would do that. But man, that would be fucking nuts. That would be nuts. Big Nabs with a super chat saying AI NPCs are the next true leap in gaming. I think you're probably right about that. Yeah. I think that's gonna be a little creepy though, in a way. It's gonna really take things to another level where when you'll be able to like talk into your controller. But not into it. Like, the PS5 controller already has a mic built in, or like, you assume the PlayStation 6 will also have that with the second version of the DualSense. You'll be able to just like, as a character you're playing, as just like walk up to an NPC and like you'll be able to say something. Maybe you can do that in GTA 6. Maybe there's a microphone built in to the DualSense. You're just walking around the city and like if you're near somebody, if you say something, like it will register what you said. Like if you like shout an insult, like the AI will react to it and be like, "What'd you say? What'd you say to me, buddy?" And like you could get into fights or something, or you could say something nice, and they'll like respond and be like, "Oh, thank you," or something. I don't know, just something like that. Maybe that's too surface level. You think it's too surface level? Maybe that's like some next gen stuff. Like I could see games in the future for like the PlayStation 6. I don't know. Or like you just like you go up to an NPC and you're literally just having an actual, rather than choosing dialogue and then they respond to set dialogue, like they have the ability to just respond to you. Where it's like you can just talk to them. You can literally have a real conversation with an NPC. How weird was that? I feel like that'd be so weird. I can't really imagine myself doing that. But it sounds very plausible. Planet Schlorpian, you're saying Astrobot could be PS5's Super Mario 64 moment. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, dude, people are saying nothing but good things about this Astrobot game, man. And listen, I've been covering Concord, and I can't wait to be done covering Concord. I mean, I pretty much am done, but I'm ready for a Sony video game that people, like everybody can just kind of look at each other and be like, this is good. And we could just enjoy it, and there doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Like Concord has just felt like there's been so much discourse and so much, I mean, it has gotten a bit toxic, but I understand where the discourse comes from. I'm just so ready for Astrobot to just come in and be like, you know what, guys, here, like this is just pure gaming, pure gaming, pure fun, pure joy and entertainment, and we're all having a good time. I'm looking forward to that, and I want more of that from PlayStation. I want PlayStation to have more of those moments. I think they will. Yeah, I can't wait for Astrobot. I'll definitely do a gameplay stream for Astrobot. Certainly. Guys, do me a favor. We have still over 240 people here hanging out in the stream. Do me a favor and hit that like button for me, okay? I want to push it and see if we can collectively bump this up to 200 likes. We can do it, guys. I know we can do it. We're at 163. We could easily hit 200 likes. Just take a second, exit the chat, hit that like button, come back to the chat. It helps more than you know. Did I keep up with hi-fi? No. No, I definitely discovered it's just not for me. It's just not for me. We've been deprived. Sony IP that already holds weight. Astrobot will be that game. Yeah, I agree, Sean. I agree. I'm looking forward to it. I think Astro is going to reach a new level. I mean, I don't know if I can say it's going to be the Mario 64 moment, but I see where you're coming from, Planet Schlorpian. Like I feel like it's going to do that. Maybe it'll do like 3/4 of that potentially, where it's like, oh yeah, like Astro's here to stay. Like this is a mainstay staple for PlayStation going forward, and it is now the true mascot of PlayStation. I could see it doing that. Yeah. That'd be really cool. I do wonder what would happen with an Astrobot game in the future where it's not reliant on PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like PlayStation is in like it's not like there aren't constant Easter eggs and homages to the PlayStation brand and the characters in the games. I wonder how it would do then. Maybe that'll come next. Astrobot's going to be bigger than GTA 6. Lock it in. Lock it in, people. PlayStation knows how to balance quality and keep its own house in order when they mess up. Yeah, Sony seemingly has gotten better at when they do make a misstep, kind of course correcting rather than letting it linger too long, from what I've noticed. We have to wait for Twitter's review of Astro. If X doesn't like it, it's game over. Damn. It's in the hands of Twitter now. They're going to start building their original cast of characters in this Astrobot game. Yeah, that's good speculation, Jack. I think you're right. And I think that's going to be important. If they do want Astrobot to be able to stand on like completely on his own without having to rely on the nostalgia of PlayStation itself, you know, like PlayStation characters and stuff like that, and you know, symbolism and imagery and whatnot. I do think that's going to be important. They're going to have to establish like a unique set of standalone characters that, yeah, allow the to just kind of open it up a bit. And I do feel like they're going to start doing that in this game. You need an Astrobot toy that walks around and makes funny sounds. I mean, if you go to PlayStation, what's it called? The PlayStation Gear store, I think they don't have that, but they have a couple of things. Like they have some Astrobot merch. We will see a PS5 Pro in Astrobot hidden somewhere. Yeah, for sure. I really do think that. I think that there is a PlayStation 5 Pro hidden inside of Astrobot. No, maybe not. It depends. It depends when Sony's going to reveal the PS5 Pro because Astrobot comes out September 6th. So reviewers will get their hands on the game probably a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. So maybe like the third week of August. And I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? It's going to be patched into it. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be updated. Because I don't think we're going to know about the PS5 Pro by September 6th. We could. It's possible. But I think if Sony's doing some kind of September event for the PS5 Pro, that's going to come probably the second or third week of September, if I had to guess. But I don't know. Sony could do something out of nowhere. We're like, hey, we're doing an August PS5 Pro event. They could do that. I mean, what's to stop them? What's to stop them? I don't know, man. It's been all quiet though. Hardly any PS5 rumors, hardly any PS5 leaks. We haven't heard anything about the PS5 Pro really. Did we know the form factor when the PS4 Pro was announced? I don't think so. I could be misremembering, but I don't think we did. Like we knew about the PS4 Pro, we knew the specs, I think. We knew about as much as we know now. But I don't think we actually knew the form factor. And if I had to guess, I think the PS5 Pro form factor is going to be very similar to the base PS5. I think they're going to look in the same way that the PS4 Pro looked very similar to the base PS4 or the PS4 Slim. I think the PS5 Pro is going to look very similar. It's going to be bigger. Yeah, I would expect it to be bigger as well. At least bigger than the PS5 Slim. I don't think it will be bigger than the original PS5, though. That would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts if it's bigger than the base PS5. Holy crap. Biggest console ever. We need native 4K 60 FPS. Well, I think what you're going to get are resolutions that are using the PSSR upscaling technique that will make it come off as native 4K. Like it will look just like native 4K. You won't be able to tell the difference. But it's not actually literally native 4K. Like it's not using all those resources. Wait, GTA 6 is going to change things for PlayStation, not Concord? Yeah, I think GTA 6 is going to be the thing that does it. Like I'm talking about, full just okay. We're playing a different game. Like we're on a different playing field now entirely. That's a good question. You're saying Astrobot will launch before the PS5 Pro is even announced. I wonder if Astrobot will take full advantage of the PS5 Pro or not. Yo, what if there's like PS5 Pro DLC or something? Like free DLC. Think about that. Oh, that would be really smart. Imagine when they announce the PS5 Pro, they're like, "Oh, by the way, today we're announcing some free Astrobot DLC. So if you pick up Astrobot, there's like a whole new level you unlock, like a whole new world dedicated to the PS5 Pro." That would be kind of genius. That reminds me, it was a real choice to drop Concord around Black Myth Wukong and Astrobot. Yeah. Yeah, the timing of Concord's launch doesn't seem ideal. I almost feel like if Concord could launch at the beginning of August, that would be better for it. I mean, I'm not saying it makes that big of a difference because, I mean, Concord is a very different game from Black Myth Wukong. It's very different from Astrobot. So it does stand on its own in that sense, but I think a game like Concord would not need, but I think it would benefit from launching at a time when there's really not that much excitement for anything. Like there's not really anything releasing. It's kind of quiet and maybe people are like looking for something to play and a game like Concord could benefit from that, but we will see, man. Most people are expecting a delay after the beta. What makes you say that? Or what are people saying like when it comes to the delay? Like what do they think is going to change? Cuz the game seems pretty finished from what I can tell. Like I don't think they could make any fundamental changes. I think any changes they could make are like balancing, slight tweaks, but in terms of like raw fundamental gameplay changes, I don't think they could do that without like delaying it by like a year or something. That's just my thoughts on it. PvE, no, I don't think there's ever going to be PvE. Tweaking the variant and cruise system. Okay. Ship it and forget about it. Interesting tactic, Jakey Stee. We have Feral Flame here with the super chat saying, how about Astrobot Kart Racers? Mario Kart style, but featuring Astrobot characters, courses, and music. Damn, dude. Yeah, that would be so smart, man. If Astrobot is a hit game or it does well enough, like these are the things that Sony should be thinking about. You say with a follow-up super chat, but include Astrobot versions of first and second party properties with carts, tracks, and music based on those properties, but in Astrobot form. Oh, hell yeah. I like the way you're thinking, Feral Flame. Yeah, that would be very smart. If it's true that the launch of Astrobot is going to be maybe a new beginning for Sony in, like, contemporary 3D platforming, and it's as well received as it seems like it's going to be, this could be where they start to branch that out a bit, have their own Mario Kart competitor. I'd play that. I think a lot of people on PlayStation would play that. That would be smart. That'd be very smart. I hope they do it now, actually. Now that you've mentioned it, if this game is successful for Sony, I'm going to like really wonder why didn't they do it if it doesn't happen. I did read very briefly. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read that apparently a couple months into Astrobot's development, they did have some kind of like 6-player multiplayer or something like that. And I guess maybe it just wasn't coming together ultimately, and they had to remove it. But it makes me wonder if like these are ideas for future types of Astrobot games that they could kind of have, I might have to do another stream dedicated to talking about Astrobot. Honestly, the next chance I get where it makes sense, I want to do a dedicated Astrobot stream. Just talk about it for an hour and a half straight. Okay, you're saying LOL, people are delusional if they think Astro will even sniff at Mario's success. I do think that some people are talking about it as if like Astrobot is going to be some kind of overnight sensation. Like now he's just as recognizable as Mario. It's not going to happen like that. When I see people comparing it to Mario, the way I take that is it's going to be Sony's version, which means it's not going to be Mario. It's not going to be as big or as prolific as Mario, but it's going to be something for Sony that kind of checks that box and allows it to exist in its own space and appeal to a certain type of gamer and audience that frankly Sony hasn't been doing for a long time. Because I do agree that like, yeah, you're not going to see Astrobot sell like 10 million plus units. But it is possible that this could be the beginning, right? The beginning of something where Sony can build from this because, Mario goes way, way, way back. Way back. So if Astrobot were to ever truly carve out this kind of success that would be considered really substantial, I mean like really, really substantial, like not many other things can touch it, it would take many, many years. Many years. It would take probably like a couple decades because that's what it took for Mario, but it's a beginning. I think it's something that shows real potential, and I think that's all that matters. I don't think it's necessarily it's not necessary to necessarily. Jeez. It's not necessary in my opinion to compare Astrobot to Mario because I just don't think it matters. I just think that it's something Sony should be offering. And when I played Astro's Playroom, I just like knew, I was like, this is something that Sony needs to lean into a little bit more, because I think it'll be very beneficial for them. It'll really fill out a space that has, this void essentially that's been there this whole time. And I'm happy that they're doing that. And I would like to see it grow, And OK drops a membership gift for you guys. OK, thank you for that, buddy.
Appreciate it.
He's keeping the membership train going today, guys. We are sitting at 12 members. We are nearly at the halfway mark. Are we going to do it today? Are we going to hit 25 today? I smashed my elbow into the cat tower here. I really appreciate that, though, man. Yeah, guys, always remember, you can gift single memberships if you like. The single memberships do help as well. Yeah, Astro's Playroom was great. Exactly. Astro stands on its own as uniquely PlayStation and doesn't need comparison. Yeah, I agree. Not everything needs to always be compared, Things can just exist in isolation on their own. In fact, you could make the argument that if we just evaluated all these things in isolation on their own, it would be better. But it's only natural, I think, to kind of want to compare things, especially when you see certain similarities. It's kind of funny these days, like when you hear people talk about new games, it's like the way we describe new games is we just mention a bunch of older games to describe new games. Like we just like hear like 5 older games and just imagine those games put together. That's what this game is. And it's helpful. It's definitely helpful, but I think sometimes it can muddy the water a bit. It's the same with up-and-coming sports players, which I think is wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. I guess it's kind of hard. It's hard to avoid making certain comparisons at times. Or pointing to certain reference points. What if Astrobot gets a score at or close to Super Mario Odyssey on Metacritic? Would that change things overnight? Well, let me see. What is Super Mario Odyssey's Metacritic is... Oh, holy shit. 97. That's nuts. A fucking 97? Yeah, I'm going to say that would change things. If Astrobot got a 97 on Metacritic, that would... I'm not saying that would... It is Mario. No, but it's like... Suddenly, if people were to say it's the next Mario... Yeah, I mean, that's like, okay, yeah, maybe. For real, maybe. Because that would be nuts. Getting a 97 on Metacritic is absurd. You're saying Astrobot will be lucky if it gets 95? Dude, in my opinion, Astro will be lucky if it gets a 90. Just because getting a 90 on Metacritic is difficult. But... I mean, if Astrobot were to pull off some kind of absolutely insane maneuver here, and it's just like getting 10 out of 10s across the board, and it's like sitting at a 96 or some shit on Metacritic, like, yeah, dude, that's going to be fucking crazy. Dude, Sony will shit a brick. Sony would shit a brick, dude. And I think everybody else would as well. That would put Astrobot on the map in a huge way. Like, I think it's already there, but it would really propel it. And because when you look at a score like a 96 or 7, like, just knowing that just doesn't really happen. Like there are so few games. That would be nuts. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not anticipating Astrobot's going to be sitting at like a 94 or 5 or 6 on Metacritic. I do think it has the potential to sit at like a solid 90 maybe based off of what we're seeing. Like it seems like when people play it they're going to be like, "Man, this game is really really well made." Like it has very few flaws for what it is and the genre it's in. So I could see it getting high scores, and I think it will get high scores. But unless there's some kind of like major flaw there that we're just not privy to, that could really hurt its review score potential, I think it'll do well. Pushing Polygons, you're saying even if it's a 91 or 93, I think it changes things. Yeah, I think so too. It doesn't have to hit like a high 90s. Sony would be very happy. Like we know Sony likes their review scores, bro. We know how Sony is. They like the prestige. So if they were able to put, Astrobot as like another feather in their cap of like another 90, 91, 92 Metacritic masterpiece, or something like that. Yeah, Sony would absolutely love that. They would love that. And I'm curious, like this is one of those games where the review score doesn't matter to me in terms of whether or not I'm going to interact with the game. I've already decided I'm playing Astrobot day one, and it's probably going to be one of my favorite games of the year. I've already decided that based off of what I've seen. But I'm going to be paying very close attention to the reviews just because it is one of those things where I am curious to see how the rest of the industry receives Astrobot, because I am curious to see like where does it stand overall. It won't influence my enjoyment of the game, obviously. Like again, unless there's like some kind of major flaw that hasn't revealed itself, which I don't think there is. But yeah, it's Team Asobi's real first shot with a true console, like a full-blown 3D platforming console game. And it's hard not to be interested in how this is going to go down, because we haven't seen Sony do something like this in such a long time. This is Team Asobi's first time doing it, and right now it's looking like the stars could align for them if they play their cards right. But we're gonna know. We're gonna know very soon. We're just a little under 2 months away from Astro launching. Feels like the summer is dragging a little bit though right now. Days feel long. Not necessarily. I guess maybe that's because sun's out so late, but it's just the heat, man. The heat's too much. This is one of those very unenjoyable summers where it's like I feel like I'm melting. Time feels like it's flying for you. Yeah, it does feel it does. It's like 50-50 for me. If I think about it, it feels like time is really not going by fast. But when I like just take a moment to think like, oh wow, feels like just yesterday it was January, So it's one of those things where it depends on how much I'm focusing on it. Here in DC, the heat index is 112. Yeah, goddamn, dude. Shit's not good. It's not good. Henry 3K, a member for 15 months, says, people, if we want Sony to continue this path with smaller scale games, we must support Astrobot at launch. Yeah, I agree. This is one of those rare moments where I am going to tell you what to buy, and I'm going to tell you, go buy Astrobot. Well, I mean, only if you're interested in it, right? I do want to encourage people, exactly what Henry's saying here, if you do want to see more experiences like this from Sony, and you feel like you're somebody who enjoys these smaller scale experiences, not even smaller scale, I'd just say like different type of experiences, definitely support it, but if not, hey man, save your money. You think Astrobot will sell as much as Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart did? Yeah, I just hope that however much it sells, I just hope it's a success. Like the last thing I want to see is a game like Astrobot fail just because it would yield the opposite results, right? Where if Sony sees failure here, they're going to think, well, shit, this is why we don't bother doing this type of stuff. You know, we couldn't even break even on this game, or we couldn't make any profit on this game at all. That would be disappointing because it would straight up discourage Sony from, you know, trying to experiment in this way. You'll check it out, maybe. Yeah, I'd say just be open-minded. If you have a PS5, definitely try Astro's Playroom. If you enjoy Astro's Playroom, 98% chance you're going to want to play Astrobot and enjoy it. If you're not into Astro's Playroom, maybe it's a game you avoid. Perfect game for you and your niece. Yeah, that's another thing about Astrobot is it is a game that can appeal to everybody of all ages. I feel like you can't say that about a lot of Sony's games. So another reason why, you know, I'd say it's worth paying attention to. It's adding another layer of variety. Let's see where we're at. So, guys, we're going to be streaming for about 8 more minutes. I'm going to end this stream at the 2-hour mark. Some of these streams I'm going to try to keep on the shorter side. You know, a lot of my streams do go 3.5, 4 hours sometimes, which is great. But sometimes when we have certain topics like this where I pretty much said everything I need to say, and at the end I'll just hang with the chat a little bit, keep it on the shorter side, make it a little bit easier to digest for viewers. So if you have any other support you want to drop before we reach the 2-hour mark, any more memberships, membership gifts, anything like that, feel free to drop them now. Sometimes we get membership trains going at the very end of streams. You never really know. And as I say that, Henry 3K drops a single member gift. Henry, very much appreciated, bro.
Kept you waiting.
Kept us waiting. Henry kept us waiting for that. But thank you. That brings us up to 13 members on the day. And we have a super chat from OK as well. Hold on. He says, grandiose comparisons to Mario are not helpful to Astro's success, as Mario has cultural relevance that very few IP in all media enjoy. Good work, MBG. Well, thank you. And I agree wholeheartedly. I do think it's not fair, right? Just straight up. It's unfair to compare something like Astro to Mario, because what you're saying is true. Mario has been elevated to a level that, like you're saying, almost no intellectual property realistically is going to achieve. It's not that it's an anomaly. It's just it's ultra rare. It's unbelievably uncommon. Only very few IP can have that type of cultural relevance and really kind of transcend, if you will. And Big MP comes out of nowhere and drops a 10 bomb on you guys. This guy's lurking in the shadows. Big MP comes in towards the end of the stream here and is like, you know what, man? We're dropping 10 membership gifts. I want to see some W's in the chat for Big MP and Henry 3K here. Really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that.
It's dangerous to rely on teraflops
Big MP wants
as
to
an
hear Mark
absolute
Cerny.
indicator of performance.
He probably listens to Mark Cerny at night when he's trying to sleep. I bet you. I bet you he does. But just like that, we're at 23 members now. So close, guys. We're 2 away. 2 away. And as I say that, OK comes in and drops another single member gift, bringing us up to 24. Guys, we are 1 member away. 1 member now. OK's trying to lob it up there. Good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, we're going to have to feed the beast. If we get that last member gift, we'll have to feed the beast. We'll bring boss in. Good stuff. Mark Cerny sounds like the ghost on Mike Tyson's Mysteries. And Pushing Polygons does it. Pushing Polygons takes us over the edge here and gets it through. And Shadow Link comes in and drops a single gift. So there you go. We got a full-blown member train going out of nowhere. You love to see it. Pushing Polygons and Shadow Link were both fighting to hit that 25 mark, but both dropped single membership gifts, bringing us up to 26 members. Love to see it. Really appreciate the support, guys. As I've said and will continue to say, I can only do this because you guys make it possible. The direct support really is the difference maker here. So let me update this goal and you can see where we're at. So we will have to get boss in here, man. You're gonna have to feed the beast. Let me see if I can grab him real quick. Be right back. Mrs. MBG is going to see if she can find it. I don't know. Boss has been... He's been MIA, man. I mean, it's not like a bad thing. I'd rather him be chilling somewhere than, like, clawing at the door. So he's not, like, being, you know... He's not like, let me in. So I'll give it a minute. Mrs. MBG is going to see if she can grab boss for us. We'll feed him. Good way to end the stream. And, yeah, shout out to all of you guys for the support, man. As we're waiting for the king to return, make sure you hit that like button, guys. If you are heading out, hit that like button. We're sitting at 192 likes. Definitely appreciate that. We're very close to hitting 200. All right. It's time to eat. All right, I got him. Or Mrs. MBG got him. But here we go. Boss.
Boss, do you read me? It's time to feed the beast.
Dude, we might have a problem on our hands. I think he doesn't like these treats. Do you want some? Here, man. All right, never mind. He definitely likes them. I think he just didn't realize I was holding them. He seems a little bit flustered. I think he was sleeping. Boss seems a little bit flustered. He's like, what am I doing in here? There you go. Boss gets to end the stream with a full belly. Okay, yeah. He definitely likes those treats. He definitely likes those treats. That's good. I was afraid there because I'm like, man, there'd be a whole bag gone. I have to see if Leia would eat them. I'd have to eat them. I'd have to eat the treats. But yeah, really appreciate all the support, guys. And my God, he's done with them already. But yeah, I think that's going to do it, man. I think that's going to wrap up the stream. Again, I want to keep it a little bit shorter. Just a single topic today. Remember, as I said, as you're heading out, hit that like button. But I want to just make sure to give one last shout out and thank you to everybody who dropped membership gifts today. We did hit our goal. We actually ended at 26 members, and we got a solid amount of super chats as well. Appreciate all the fan funding. You guys are the sponsors of the channel. Without your support, it just wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much. I also want to make sure to give a shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps for the streams. So if you see him in the comments, because that's where he drops the not the super chats. That's where he drops the timestamps. If you see him give him some thanks, show him some love. I know it really means a lot to him, and he definitely appreciates this community. So, Devil Shooter, thank you for what you do, man. And yeah, guys, that does it. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. We'll see what content we have coming up for the remainder of the week. Just be on the lookout. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you haven't. And yeah, that does it. So, all right, guys, enjoy your day. I will catch you in the next one. So, until then, take care, everyone.